Hello, my brother. Welcome to the Great Man Within podcast. Every episode designed to help you discover and live the great man within you. Today, I want to have another conversation with you about refining your masculine leadership so that you can become a more trustworthy, powerful, and visionary leader. Now, what prompted this is that I'm still getting emails in my inbox and social media posts that I see all across the different platforms where people are still promoting the same problem that I talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is people are saying that this coronavirus is the greatest thing that has ever happened to us. And what I see people trying to do, what those messages are trying to do on one level is to provide hope and optimism and support. Some people are just trying to capitalize and commercialize, but I think for the most part, what I'm seeing is people are trying to put a positive spin on what we are experiencing now. But at the same time, with a blanket statement like that, it completely ignores the fact that people are suffering, dying, losing their businesses, losing much more, losing sanity, losing relationships. And when a blanket statement is made without any attention or recognition or acknowledgement paid to the fact that this is one of the most difficult, challenging, horrible periods of time for certain people, when a statement is made that this is the greatest thing that has ever happened to us, we are doing a disservice to the people who need our attention, love, compassion, and support the most. There's a way that we can provide hope and optimism and guidance and visionary leadership without completely ignoring the people who are having the toughest of times right now. The fact of the matter is, this pandemic has not affected us all equally. People in lower income brackets are suffering more so than those in the middle class and the upper class or the elite. Communities of color are experiencing higher death rates as well. So when we are making blanket statements that this is the greatest thing that has ever happened, and we are ignorant of all of these other dynamics that are at play, we become less trustworthy leaders and we exacerbate a problem in a situation and a time where we need healing. We need real guidance and support. And I'm not claiming that I have all the answers, but I am here absolutely working on refining my ability to hold an experience that's bigger than my own. Bigger than Dominic Quartuccio sitting in his cozy one-bedroom apartment in New York City where my health is in order, where I have access to food and healthcare if needed, where my family is taken care of. I'm privileged, and I want to use that position to help and lift up others, not to make other people feel unseen, unheard, unacknowledged. So I wanted to share with you a beautiful written piece that I came across this morning. A shining demonstration of leadership that demonstrates the breadth of awareness that we are all having such unique and varying experiences during this pandemic era. Now, there's this brilliant artist and creator that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Hitomi Mochizuki. And in her story today, she shared a written piece from an account called Chelsea Kauai. So Kauai like Hawaii, Chelsea Kauai. And I'll link this in the show notes, that I think is a shining demonstration of leadership right now, and I'd like to read it to you. I heard that we are all in the same boat, but it's not like that. We're in the same storm, but not in the same boat. Your ship could be shipwrecked, and mine might not be, or vice versa. For some, quarantine is optimal, a moment of reflection, of reconnection, easy in flip-flops with a cocktail or coffee. For others, this is a desperate financial and family crisis. For some that live alone, they're facing endless loneliness, while for others, it is peace, rest, and time with their mother, father, sons, and daughters. With the $600 weekly increase in unemployment, some are bringing in more money to their households than they were when they were working. Others are working more hours for less money due to pay cuts or loss in sales. Some families of four just received $3,400 from the stimulus, while other families of four saw zero. Some were concerned about getting a certain candy for Easter, while others were concerned if there would be enough bread, milk, and eggs for the weekend. Some want to go back to work because they don't qualify for unemployment and are running out of money. Others want to kill those who break the quarantine. Some are home spending 2 to 3 hours a day helping their child with online schooling, while others are spending 2 to 3 hours a day to educate their children on top of a 10 to 12 hour workday. Some have experienced the near death of the virus. Some have already lost someone from it, and some are not sure if their loved ones are going to make it. Others don't believe this is a big deal. Some have faith in God and expect miracles during this 2020, and others say the worst is yet to come. So friends, we are not in the same boat. We are going through a time when our perceptions and needs are completely different. Each of us will emerge in our own way from the storm. It is very important to see beyond what is seen at first glance. Not just looking, actually seeing. We are all on different ships during the storm, experiencing a very different journey. And that is from Chelsea Kawai on Instagram. I couldn't think of a better way to say it, to open our eyes to the fact that we are all going through something very different. And gentlemen, as you are going through this experience yourself, whether it's on your own or caring for your family or running a business or whatever unique situation that you are going through, can you expand your awareness beyond what you yourself are experiencing so that you can see the other needs of the world that's around you, other people's perceptions and needs and wants and desires? Because when you can do this in this moment, in this crucible of a pandemic that we are living in, then when you show up, when the world normalizes some point in the future, near or distant, when you are showing up and standing in front of your community, whether it's your family or your business or whatever area that you're leading, you'll be able to see beyond just the person that agrees with you or who you are, what you need, what your needs are. And you'll be able to see the entire realm, the entire kingdom of people that you're responsible for and what they may need or desire, and to meet them, to see them, to acknowledge them. In my book, On Purpose Leadership, which is coming out later this year, I talk about how the one thing that causes resistance to your leadership more than any is distrust. And people will distrust you if they don't believe that you have their best interest at heart. And one of the fastest ways to demonstrate that you don't have their best interest at heart is by not seeing them, not acknowledging them. Just like the person who says, standing on a pulpit from a privilege, that this is the greatest thing that has ever happened to us, while there is death and destruction all around. Let's do better than that, fellas. Let's hold ourselves to a higher standard. Let's continue to refine the depth and breadth of our conscious awareness so that we can become more trustworthy, powerful, and visionary leaders during a time where the world needs us the most. Because that's exactly what a great man would do. Hey, if you're looking for what episode to listen to next, here are our top 3 most popular from the last month. On April 5th, there was the episode released called Don't Waste This Wake-Up Call. That's been the most downloaded over this past month. The second most downloaded is April 6th, How to Keep the Desire Burning During the COVID Era, and that's with Alexa Martinez. And then the very first episode that we did during the COVID era, which was released on March 14th, called COVID-19, Fortify Your Foundation in Times of Turmoil. Happy listening.